in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 10 o'clock, it's 11 degrees. We'll see sunshine today, but very cold. Only going to see a high around 17. Wind chills will be below zero today as well. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Neil Doyle. Just in this morning, federal authorities have arrested a Virginia man in connection with the placement of 2 pipe bombs outside the headquarters of the Republican and Democratic National Committees the night before the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol.
The suspect is expected to face charges for allegedly planting the devices, which investigators later determined were viable explosives that, if detonated, could have resulted in, quote, serious injury or death, marking an extraordinary development in one of the most high-profile federal investigations in recent history. It's not clear the full scope of evidence that authorities have gathered, allegedly tying the suspect to the planting of the bombs. An FBI official confirmed the arrest to ABC News. Karen Travers, ABC News, Washington.
Well, with that frigid temperatures hitting the area here today, we could actually break some records with our high temps only reaching the teens. TMJ4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Desnansky.
This is cold. I mean, I know it's December, but it's pretty abnormal. I mean, the average high for today is still around 40. We're dipping into more like January stuff here.
We'll get your full 5-day forecast coming up in a few minutes. And with those temps below freezing, that could come with some health risks.
Exposure to freezing temperatures can quickly turn life-threatening.
We have frostbite, hypothermia. It can happen as little as a few minutes.
Medical College Associate Professor of Emergency Medicine Dr. Ben Weston, especially for vulnerable populations.
So we're talking about older adults, children, and certainly people with housing instability who are living outdoors.
Some tips for combating the Arctic blast?
Dressing in layers. Get your base layer, your mid layer, outer layer that's wind and waterproof. Don't forget hat, gloves, mittens, insulated boots.
Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
The Bureau of Labor Statistics says claims for unemployment benefits have taken a historic dive to their lowest level since September of 2022.
The consensus among economists was for a slight increase in the number of claims for unemployment benefits, considered an indicator of layoff activity. Instead, the Labor Department says that in the week leading up to November 29th, jobless claims fell by 27,000, down to 191,000 altogether. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Meanwhile, in the vehicle world, imports are topping Consumer Report's latest rankings for new brands.
Subaru finished first, narrowly edging out BMW. Consumer Report's Director of Auto Testing, Jake Fisher, says this is the second consecutive top finish for Subaru.
They really are very conservative with when they redesign vehicles. They pick what they do, and they do a lot of it well.
Lincoln was a top domestic brand, along with Tesla showing the most improvement. Toyota finished tops in reliability. Jeff Gilbert, CBS News, Detroit.
Time for news about your money and the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is up about 13 points at 47,896. The NASDAQ is down 23 at 23,430. And the S&P 500 slightly down about 4 points at 6,846. Financial planning at every level: Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:04.
So how is that possible? 1.9% real estate commission? There must be something you're not telling me.
I hear that a lot. The truth is, everybody could do it, but they choose not to because folks keep paying more than they have to. I guess they just haven't heard yet that Century 21 Benefit Realty can make that 1.9% real estate commission promise on the sale of your home and stick to it. So I'd like to think that's going to make your decision easy. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. You only get one chance to make a first impression, and that goes double for your home listing, because that's how you're going to get the most value. By having a customized marketing plan specific to your property with professional photos, global marketing, and the built-in experience that Century 21 Benefit Realty has brought to the table since 2004. And being joined with Century 21 just makes all of the above stand out that much more. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Artwork, especially original artwork, can be pricey. But when you take it in on consignment from nice people like you who are just ready to change the look of their home, you can price it right. And you'll find a lot of it at Design Exchange. Beautiful frame pieces by a number of notable artists. And new ones pop in all the time. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Now these tend to fly off the shelves. But don't worry, because our connection supplies us with a lot of them. Vintage ceiling tiles from once great old buildings in New York City that make for ultra-unique artwork. These items are definitely hard to find from anywhere else around here. So come take a look, and you'll probably find a treasure. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Sports Desk. Another injury for Buck star Giannis Antetokounmpo. Had a right calf strain. Had to leave the game against the Pistons early in the first quarter, but Milwaukee able to rally from an 18-point deficit. They beat Detroit 113-109. Now, that injury for Giannis came after a report by ESPN earlier in the day talking about Giannis questioning if he wants to stay with the Bucks. Head coach Doc Rivers, though, disputing that report.
I go to the source. I talk to the source every single day. And he loves Milwaukee, and he loves the Bucks.
Bucks will be at home tomorrow night to face the 76ers. Week 14 of the NFL kicks off tonight. The Lions hosting the Cowboys. Packers wide receiver Jaden Reed seems to be trending in the right direction. He'll try to return this week after breaking his collarbone back in week 2.
I don't know, man. We're gonna see. Time will tell. I mean, I just got to get cleared by the docs, really. That's really the last step, to be honest.
Green Bay hosting Chicago Sunday, 3:25 kick at Lambeau Field. Men's college hoops, Wisconsin with a win over Northwestern 85-73. Badgers volleyball hosting the first 2 rounds of the NCAA tournament. They'll take the court tonight against Eastern Illinois. Our coverage starting at 6 o'clock here on WTMJ. Let's take a look at the road. Your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. Just still a couple of issues we're seeing here, kind of ongoing every day in our construction zone on 94. If you're heading westbound, that kind of starts at 35th Street until you get past the stadium. Same thing eastbound. Some backup starting as you hit 76th Street through the stadium interchange. And otherwise, just a couple of disabled vehicles moving along nicely across the system. And your WTMJ 5-day forecast. We will see sunshine today, but it is going to be very cold. Only a high around 17. We'll see wind chills drop below 0. Tonight, partly cloudy. We'll get even colder. We'll see a low around 7. Actually could see a low around 0 in some spots tonight. Partly sunny on Friday. We'll see a chance for maybe a couple of snow flurries, a high around 27. Partly sunny Saturday. Still a chance for maybe some snow, highs in the upper 20s. And then on Sunday, we'll have another day. We could see a little bit of snow early on. Otherwise, mostly sunny with a high of 22. Right now, it's 6 degrees in Madison. We're sitting at 10 degrees in Kenosha, and it's 11 here in Milwaukee. I'm Neil Doyle, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:08.
Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue. It's time for Point Taken. Here are your hosts, Steve Scaffidi and Kristin Brey.
Yes, welcome. Good morning, Wisconsin. Good morning, Australia and Washington and wherever you're listening. Thanks for tuning in. We always appreciate you. You had an interesting day yesterday in the afternoon, though. This is a classic, one of those stories that's like you never want it to happen, but when it happens, it's like, and I've been in this situation. It's like, oh my God, tell people what happened to you yesterday.
So, it is both. All right, so it's the worst part about this is like I am embarrassed. I feel stupid and vulnerable. But we're members at the Milwaukee Athletic Club, and there's a parking structure and there's a surface lot. And I've driven this exact spot hundreds of times, and I'm coming in because I'm going to meet a friend, and then we're going to come from away, which I highly recommend at the Milwaukee Rep. And I go down the parking ramp to go to the surface lot, and I just hear, and my car will not go forward. It will not go back. And I'm like, what did I hit? Well, I hit a median that usually has cones on it. And so, and I get out, and my car is leaking oil.
Yeah, that's always a bad sign.
And so I have really not, despite not being like, I'm not going to say I'm the best driver in the world, clearly, but I've really not gotten in any accidents I think the last time I got in any kind of car accident was in California in like 2004.
That's a while ago.
I don't know what to do. I'm not with my husband. And it's in that situation where you kind of, your hackles go up because you're like, who's trying, like, what do I do? And you know that in the back of your mind that there's going to be people who try to take advantage of you.
Yes.
And so you call, like I called the dealership and then they gave me a tow truck, but that tow truck was going to take 3 hours. I called my insurance company. There's a bunch of different things. They send a dispatch, but that's going to take like an hour and a half. So then one of the people who works at the MAC, they have a tow truck, so they end up coming, but that still takes an hour and all of this stuff and trying to figure out, do you go through insurance? Do you not go through insurance? What do you do? And so I did end up making the show. A different tow truck took my car, impounded it. They first sent me a bill for $0. Then they updated the bill to $1,200.
Which is nuts.
And now it's in process of my insurance company is going to get the car and take it to an actual auto shop. And it's just one of those situations where, like, the multiple reactions, whatever it ends up costing, feeling very grateful that we will be fine, and like worried for people who get in these situations who literally can't cover like $1,000 emergency. Right. But then it's also just like the gender stuff pops up of like, I just feel like a stupid woman who can't drive and like not being able to like being in a situation where you don't know what to do as like an adult competent person and just feeling so exposed to be taken advantage of is a really crappy feeling.
Is it because you haven't had that experience since you said like 2004? So
and I was a child then. Then I was like 18 or 19.
I mean,
and it wasn't that one. It was a fender bender. Like it wasn't even bad.
Yeah, whatever the circumstances, when these things happen, I don't care who you are. It's like disconcerting. Your adrenaline pumps. I mean, you're like all crazy.
And it's also exposed, right? Like I'm sitting on this median.
Yeah, that's a
where
public
like all
spot.
the members of the club are coming in and out. There's also a Bucks game.
Were they
so
waving?
People are at the Milwaukee Athletic Club taking the shuttle to the Bucks game, and everyone's just like driving around me trying to get to the parking lot. And I'm just sitting in my car, and it's 10 degrees out. I'm like,
did you shed tears?
I did not. I didn't cry.
Okay, well,
shockingly,
good.
But I did not.
Not that
cry.
that's bad, but I'm just curious.
But it was, it was. Memories were made.
Jazz nodding her head, and yeah, you've been in that situation.
No, but I can understand, and if any of our fans have a suggestion, 855-616-1620 on the Siding Unlimited talk and text line.
Yeah,
weigh in.
I told you when we were sitting out there with Mike Spalding. In our cars, we have like the name of the tow truck company that we've used, not recently, but in the past. Our local repair guy, which is Gerard's in Franklin, we've used them for years. And then our insurance, all that stuff, and then what's the other? Oh, and all our license and registration. Because if you get stopped, and thankfully, knock on, we haven't been stopped in many, many years, decades. You need that. Mm-hmm. So just put that stuff in there, because that's but you don't know, right? You've driven this, you said, hundreds of times. Like, where'd the cones go? I guess that's the first question.
So here's the thing: they moved the cones to the parking structure, to the parking lot because the shuttles were running, and so they blocked off one of the spots for someone to park so that the shuttles can like maneuver inside the surface lot. And literally, it was just like, you can't just get some more cones. Like, you can't afford 2 more sets of cones.
Well, because if they remove them, one, that's a change, and then people get in these habits. Like, you see the cones, you stay right or stay left. So all of a sudden, that's not there visually, especially with the snow and all that. You don't notice those things as much, and it doesn't take much. I mean, you have a pretty.
But apparently, I'm not the first person to do it either. They said this is like I'm the 5th person to do it this year.
Really?
Oh.
Same spot? Mm-hmm. Ooh, that's bad.
But I think I'm still liable.
Yeah, because you're driving the car.
I'm driving the car, and like it's not.
But you're good, right?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm not hurt. I'm just embarrassed. It's more of an ego bruise and potentially a hit to our wallet. But
yeah.
But yeah. So.
I am curious, and this is sort of those slice of life things that come into the show every once in a while. When you're in those situations, like what do you do? I think that's helpful if you're a tow truck company.
What is the actual standard operation of like protecting yourself, not getting taken advantage of? You go through insurance? Do you go to the dealership? Because I hear mixed messages, right? If you go to the dealership, it's called the stealership, right? And the dealership's going to take you for it.
I'm a big fan of car dealers, so.
And so that's what I do. And I because I don't know, I have no experience. I didn't know like what is the standard operation here to protect yourself, protect your wallet. So if you have advice so that I can ingrain that into my brain and also teach my daughter, I would really appreciate it.
We actually have some good advice. We'll stay on it for a little bit. There's obviously a lot of serious stories as well, and the Hegseth story is not going away. And then some other interesting conversations on today's program. Don't forget Jeremy Janine from UrbanMilwaukee.com joins us in the 11 o'clock hour. So stay with us on this Thursday edition right here on 620 WTMJ.
The Upswing with Jeff Sherman.
Take time out of your day to shop small, because it's not just about picking that unique gift or that favorite treat. It's about investing in the fabric of our hometowns. Consider your local neighborhood and community. Celebrate the spirit of local entrepreneurship and keep our communities thriving.
Saturdays at 11 on WTMJ. Presented by Horicon Bank, the natural choice for all your banking needs.
Hey there, Steve Scaffidi from WTMJ for Evan. You know the story, right? I had those problems that many of you have, right? The tossing and turning, the snoring. You can raise your hands out there in Radio Land, I know. So, and that, of course, poor sleep can lead to a lot of other things, especially being not refreshed and rested in the morning. So I went to Evan almost 6 years ago now, 30-minute visit, great facilities, great docs, and they put me at ease. They answered my questions. And that's how it starts, with a conversation about what's ailing you when it comes to your sleep habits and your breathing. And after a simple, very simple sleep study done at home in my own bed, they determined my problem, like a lot of people, are very relatable. Sinuses, nasal passage, and my breathing triangle. After a short procedure, which was maybe 20, 25 minutes, breathing better than ever, and more importantly, sleeping through the whole night. My wife, Kathy, loves that. No snoring. How about that? If you struggle like I used to, take the time to see how Evan can help you to find out breathing well and sleeping well can make your nights better. Go to evanknows.com. Schedule an appointment today. I love saying this because Evan knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Crisp air, cozy sweaters, and a home that's actually ready for fall. Exterior Pros and Baths is giving $3,000 off roofing, siding, windows, or bath remodels this month. Don't let your home be the only thing falling apart this season. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. Exterior Pros and Baths, because your house deserves a little sweater weather too.
Are you looking to hire? ZipRecruiter finds the best candidate for your job fast. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
All right, so Texter asked a question, Kristin, Brey. What were you doing that you didn't see the median and ran it over?
I don't know. I mean, that's the thing, because I think I'm used to seeing the cones. And so the median's gray. It's not painted at all. There's no sign.
That seems weird to me. They wouldn't be painted.
It's not painted at all.
Does that just matches the pavement?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good.
And so it matches the pavement. There's leaves around it. It's only about 6 inches high. It's less than a foot high. And truly, I would have cleared it entirely, except there's a little hump on the median that's cement remnants from the sign that was there. Really? Right? Like because that used to be the entrance, and it had the what do you call those? The arms that went up and down. And so there used to be a sign there, and that was the entrance. You go up and down. And so, but they cleared that entirely, except there's like a half inch of cement, and that's what I was stuck on, because the rest of the flat part of the median I would have cleared otherwise.
I'm going to be curious if the next time you go to your club.
Oh, this will never happen again.
No, not for you. Next time you go, will there be cones?
Oh, the cones were already back when I got back there later in the night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they put the cones back immediately after I was towed.
Interesting. So a lesson learned there. This is sort of an old school thing, but AAA, I guess they're not old school because everyone's saying get AAA.
I know.
Get AAA.
And the thing is, I had AAA that was a gift from my dad. And then there was a miscommunication in who was going to renew it. And so I did not renew it. And so, but now it seems like a good investment again.
Yeah, I think so. And especially in the winter. And if you're in one of these situations, especially if you're like in a part of the area where you're not usually in that spot, you don't know the roads and the conditions, man, you got to have somebody to rely on. So you want to have that information ahead of time. So maybe this is just a good informational.
Just another life lesson.
Do you feel like a less sophisticated driver now? Do you feel like you sort of...
I mean, let's be honest. I never felt like a sophisticated driver.
No?
But
no?
I just feel like less of an adult.
Yeah.
I feel like a teenager right now.
Interesting. A lot of people talking about AAA. Do you have a low clearance vehicle? You do, right? It's pretty low, right? That's part of the problem as well. My Jeep's not. It wouldn't matter. I could go over that.
I have a Tiguan, like a Volkswagen Tiguan, so it's not super low. It's not a sedan. It's like a SUV, like a small SUV.
But my Jeep would just roll over the median.
Yeah, totally.
That's why I love it. Like I run over stuff all the time. Like, man, no problem. I got those big knobby tires on there. There's always trade-offs, right? So one of the things any Jeep owner out there who has I have a Rubicon, the Wrangler, they're not as quiet as like a sedan. I mean, I can hear the tires, but that's part of the allure to me. I'm like driving in the, I was just off-road when I was deer hunting. I love that.
Yeah.
It's like going back in time. It's my equivalent of riding a horse, which I've never done in my entire life.
You've never ridden a horse?
No, ever. I told the story.
Are you afraid of horses?
No.
You just haven't had the opportunity?
Not when I was a kid, not when I was an adult, young adult, old adult.
When you go to Hawaii next year, do a beach horseback ride. You travel so much. There's got to be like tourist horseback riding situations that you can sign up for.
Here's the image. So I'm in Hawaii. I'm obviously well tan. Got the new tattoo, shirtless on a horse. How about that for a Facebook video? Huh?
I bet Kathy would like it.
That's an Old Spice video waiting to happen.
Oh my God, yes. I'll be cut because I'll be in my Hawaii shape. Isn't that wild? I
think you're seriously considering it.
I am seriously considering it. I don't know. Somebody asked me the same question you asked. Why have you never ridden? I've never been offered the opportunity to ride a horse, ever.
You need to seek it out.
Yeah. I told Kathy one time, this is one of the crazy things you say when you're like 35 or whatever. You pick an age. And I said, you know what I want to do sometime? I want to ride a horse across the United States. She goes, you've never ridden a horse in your life? I go, yeah, that's right. That's why I want to do it.
Sounds like a lot of chafing.
Yeah, or sore butt.
And a sore butt.
Yeah, because imagine that. What has that been done for like charity, riding from like New York City to San Francisco? How long would that take? A couple months, right?
Probably not as long as running it, like my friend Ashley did.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Horse runs a lot faster.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to gallop it. I mean, maybe a little bit.
You're going to trot the entire way?
Well, in the cities, yeah, because you want to wave and like a big parade.
Where are we? What has happened to this conversation?
All right, we're gonna shift gear. Yes, we are gonna shift gears after this. I just thought the slice of life stuff was because this is that time of year when, man, you better have your what together, driving, tow truck ready to go. I'm glad you got to see the play though, so it didn't ruin.
I did get to see the play, and I can't recommend if you can go see Come From Away at the Milwaukee Rep. Have you seen it? Do you know what it's about?
I did see the write-up about it, yeah.
And so it's about, and I had seen it on Broadway as well, but the local cast is excellent. And it feels like they added some dialogue from the original show that I saw.
Well, tell people what it is.
If you don't know what it is the story of Gander in Newfoundland, which used to be when planes couldn't make it across the Atlantic, they'd have to stop and refuel in Gander. So this is like the northeast part of North America. And when 9/11 happened, and the American Airways shut down, it was like 30 planes landed in Gander. So the town of 7,000 people went to 16,000 people overnight for 4 days. And the town just came together to host all of these people who were scared, didn't always speak the same language, and just opened every community building and fed them. And it's such good storytelling. All the actors play multiple different roles. It never stops moving. The musicians are on stage, and because of Newfoundland's like proximity to the UK, it's very kind of like Celtic fiddle type music. It's excellent, and the cast is excellent. So shout out to Milwaukee Rep. Go see it if you can.
Did you read the book that story? I think it's based on it roughly. My friend Jerry Frankie gave me the book a couple of years ago now. Fascinating because it in depth on what that.
And they interviewed all the people.
Yeah. I have to read this text before I go to break.
Okay.
Steve, what do you think? You're Putin jacked on a horse? Yeah, just like that. Exactly right. Crazy, shirtless, on a horse. Picture it. Happy holidays, everybody.
Hi, this is Dave Spano, CEO of Annex Wealth Management. As we head towards the new year, I want to extend a heartfelt gratitude to our listeners and to our clients. Thank you for your trust, your partnership, and the conversations we get to have every day. From all of us at Annex, we wish you and your family a safe, joyful, and meaningful holiday season.
Investment and retirement planning, along with tax and estate strategies. Get financially organized for the new year. Click Get Started at annexwealth.com.
Who doesn't need a seasonal wardrobe update? But who has the cash to always keep their wardrobe updated? Ladies, that's why you shop St. Vincent de Paul. Our women's clothing is always a highlight of our stores, and thrift store prices keep the costs low. It allows you to experiment and also find a hidden gem. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max. Skylight Music Theater is presenting Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, a dazzling story of family, forgiveness, and beloved songs. Follow dreamer Joseph from outcast to Pharaoh's right-hand man in this joyful holiday musical, now through December 28th. Tune into What's on Tap with Sandy Max Friday, December 5th for your chance to win a pair of tickets. Or get yours now at skylightmusictheater.org.
We see you out there doing things your way. So why shop the same retail giants as everyone else when you can find the same trusted products you want and need at unbeatable farm and fleet prices? Like Blaine's brand windshield wiper fluid, just $1.99 a gallon. Save $1 on assorted Kalmbach poultry feed. And Tribute horse feed is also $1 off. So head in store or online with convenient same-day delivery or drive-through pickup. Right here at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Hey fellas, are you feeling off of your game? If you feel like something is holding you back, connect with the medical professionals at Game Day Men's Health. WTMJ's Greg Matzik here. Game Day Men's Health helps guys regain their youthful edge with hormone replacement, vitamin therapy, personalized weight loss plans, plus EPAT therapy, which I've used for injuries such as plantar fasciitis or tennis elbow. And it's all under the care of experienced medical professionals. A free consultation at their clinic in Brookfield, Shorewood, Germantown, or Delafield. Game Day Men's Health. Get back in the game.
Your way inside the huddle.
Hut one, hut two.
Without putting on any pads. It's Green and Gold Insiders on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
Yeah, it is the hardest remaining strength of schedule left.
When you're able to suffocate an offensive line out, quarterbacks aren't able to do anything.
Every day of the regular season at 4:15, it's Green and Gold Insiders all season long, right here on WTMJ.
Just hear those sleigh bells.
Oh, yeah, we're easing into the Christmas holiday. Hope you're having a great Thursday. Thanks for finding us. If you missed any or all of our show, you can find us at WTMJ.com. Or wherever you get your podcast, Point Taken is the name of the show. She's Kristin, I'm Steve. The book that we're talking about, and it is the book that the play reference and is based on, is called The Day the World Came to Town. Jim DeFeed.
The Day the World Came Down.
Jim DeFeed.
Oh no, you're right. The day the world came to town. I thought I read it down. I was like, wait.
Jim DeFeed, DEFEDE, and it's basically that story where they were just all those planes were landing. Since we're not going to have enough time to start broach our next topic.
Talking about real things.
So my brother was working at the O'Hare Flight Center for 9/11. He's a supervisor for air traffic controllers, and he said that day he'll never forget every detail of that day because they basically had to get every plane down in a very short amount of time. It was chaos, and you want to see people under high stress, and they did a magnificent job of landing those planes.
Well, and just the logistics of once you can get, because that's some of the things that they talk about in the play of like having that many planes landed, and the fact that those planes are not supposed to sit for very long, and they start to like deteriorate and erode if you let them sit for too long. There was, concerns of, because of like one of the 747s or whatever that's so heavy that it's like sinking into the asphalt. And then even once they can get up and going, if people are having connecting flights, and where do you send them? Do you send them to their original location? Do you send them back to where they came from? Like one of the main stories is a flight that was coming from France and supposed to go to Dallas. And one of the points is like, if I don't get clearance to go to Dallas, we're going back to France. And it's just the logistical nightmare of that. It's really good. And I was a sophomore in high school, so I remember enough of it. Like I wasn't a kid, but just the realities of, you think about the realities of the people who are in New York, but how much is affected beyond that. It's excellent. I think you can also, I think they taped the Broadway version. And I know for a little while it was available to watch on HBO.
Yeah.
So that might still be available if you can't make it to the rep before the 14th.
And last thing to put a ribbon on our conversation about your little incident yesterday, Kristin, check your manual. Most cars come with a roadside assistance phone number now, so you could have looked that up.
Okay.
You have the manual. Here's the thing.
Manual's still in the glove box.
Some new cars don't have manuals. You just go online.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's another thing. So if you have a newer car, you might even not even have a manual. So just have resources and be able to sort of check those out when you need to, because this is that time of year when those sliding, skidding accidents really can happen, especially with the extremely cold weather, which I did not like this morning. It was insanely.
You didn't like the 5 degrees?
It was insanely cold.
It's gonna be. I think it's staying cold for a little while.
Yeah. Good news is when I get back.
Good thing you're going out of town.
Absolutely. All right, we got Neil Doyle with local news. Before we get to any or all of that, here's now the latest from ABC.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Connecticut Democratic Congressman Jim Hines speaking out about those U.S. strikes off the coast of Venezuela, including 2 against a suspected drug boat back in early September. The first strike hitting the boat, the second killing 2 on board who survived. In that briefing today, Navy Admiral Mitch Bradley, who's been blamed for the second strike, Hines saying,
"What I saw in that room was one of the most troubling things I've seen in my time in public service. You have 2 individuals in clear distress, without any means of locomotion, with a destroyed vessel, who were killed by the United States."
In Northern Virginia today, an arrest in connection with 2 pipe bombs that were planted at Democratic and Republican headquarters in Washington the night before the January 6th Capitol riot. Federal agents launching the latest immigration crackdown, this one in New Orleans. Masked agents seen patrolling a heavily Hispanic suburb. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 10:31. I'm Neil Doyle. The Wisconsin Supreme Court will hear a case to decide whether it's illegal for local jails to hold immigrant detainees at the request of federal authorities. The Wisconsin ACLU is suing 5 sheriff's offices, claiming they teamed up with the feds to house immigrant detainees for longer than 48 hours. The attorney representing the sheriffs says the ongoing partnership with ICE is legal. One person now in custody after a hit-and-run crash that seriously injured 2 pedestrians. It happened in the village of Merton Tuesday night in Waukesha County. The car struck a man and woman who were both 64 years old and then fled the scene. Authorities spent about 24 hours searching for the suspect. They say a 33-year-old man who was driving that car turned himself in last night. More backpack restrictions could be coming to public schools in Green Bay. The school board considering a proposal that would require students to keep their backpacks in their lockers. Back in September, a new policy was implemented for all high school students to have clear bags. Now, that was after a loaded gun was found in a backpack at Preble High School. The board could vote on that policy later this month. Time for news about your money and the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management market update. Now red across the board here. The Dow is down about 47 points at 47,834. The NASDAQ is down 5 at 23,449. And the S&P 500 slightly down about 5 points as well at 6,848. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Let's take a look at the roads. Your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. Still just a couple of trouble spots on 94, and this is more so eastbound. Some slowdowns as you hit 76th Street. Again, this is our ongoing construction zone there on 94. The backups, if you're heading westbound, have kind of cleared up. Otherwise, just a few disabled vehicles across the system. None of them really causing any issues, so moving along nicely. And your WTMJ 5-day forecast. We will see sunshine today, but it is a chilly one. We'll only see a high around 17 degrees, wind chills below 0, and then tonight, even colder, partly cloudy. We'll see a low down to 7 in some spots, and again, those wind chills are going to make it feel much colder than that. Partly sunny then as we head into Friday. We could see a few snow flurries in the afternoon, a high around 27. Partly sunny, chances for some snow Saturday, highs in the upper 20s. Sunday, we'll see some snow chances early, otherwise sunny skies, a high of 22. And then into early next week, Monday, partly sunny with highs in the low 20s. It is currently 7 degrees in Madison. We're sitting at 10 degrees in Kenosha, and it's 11 degrees right now in Milwaukee. I'm Neil Doyle, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 1034.
Are you hosting this holiday season or family staying at the house? Let's get things tightened up or even improved with a timely project from my team at Horner Plumbing. Vince Vitrano here. These are the folks in my contacts list under plumber. Let's get Horner out to the house. Get you a free quote on that project that you've been thinking about, talking about, pushing off, upfront pricing, and an honest assessment from Horner. So you know the project will fit your budget and your timeline. Just heard from Erin over there at Horner, and she tells me they do have room on the schedule for most projects in time for your holiday guests. So whether that's getting the leaky shower or sink fixed for folks who are going to be staying at the home, or a major project so you can accommodate them, my team at Horner is ready to go. With the holidays fast approaching, now's the perfect time to schedule your free quote. Let Horner Plumbing help you get those home projects wrapped up before the season begins. $50 off your first service when you tell them Vinny sent you. Horner Plumbing. Find them online at hornerplumbing.com.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats.
And free groceries.
Okay, just calm down. We'll get to that later.
Stay tuned in right here to score free groceries.
Stop, please.
Okay, I'm shutting up. My lip is zipped.
Let's get to this week's specials at Century Foods. Now through Wednesday, save on 7 to 16 ounce selected varieties Barilla pasta, 2 for $3. 15 to 16 ounce selected varieties Bush's variety beans, 4 for $5. 1 pound selected varieties Land O'Lakes butter, $4.99. 12 to 40 count selected varieties Hefty One storage or freezer bags, $3.99.
And now time for the big reveal. Free groceries.
That's too over the top. Try this. Win free groceries from Century Foods.
Century Foods.
Forget it. I'll handle the rest. Enter to win $500 worth of free groceries on Century's Facebook or Instagram by December 31st.
Christmas time is here. The sleigh bells and the red-nosed deer. Songs and songs we love to hear, all played 1,000 times each year. Heard this same song 20 times, and it's only
I love the uncertainty in the break. We're like, hey, we have to do like our show. Let's get to our show. So what are we talking about? The president got some attention when he started saying that basically, even though he said a couple weeks earlier that affordability was like the hot topic, well, now he's calling all of this a sort of a Democratic scam and a hoax. And I'm somebody who identifies as a Republican. I'm sitting here thinking there's got to be a lot of conservatives, a lot of Republicans who are listening to that saying, Mr. President, we're actually like going to be running for things. We have midterms coming up. Probably not the messaging you want to put out there when people are, let's be honest, Republicans, Democrats, Independents, whatever, are struggling. Mm-hmm. That story is it's not a partisan issue. Everybody feels that. And I don't care if you have means or don't have means. You cannot tell me that you don't understand there's people just in the situation you described earlier where you have you're one bill away from all of a sudden being
in a lot of trouble.
How am I going to pay for things? So Politico is doing some really important looking at this, the affordability crisis, right? So I started with saying Trump's blaming his own voters, and that's essentially what's happening here. But here's some of the numbers. In their poll, almost half, 46%, say the cost of living in the United States is the worst they can ever remember.
Do you feel like it's the worst you can ever remember?
From what I'm not the best person to ask because I don't shop, so I couldn't tell you what a gallon of milk costs or versus doesn't. I have no idea. God bless my wife. She likes to do that.
Well, you're very comfortable.
Yes.
You guys have saved well.
Yes.
You're in the boomer generation that is benefited from a lot of different economic booming times. But it would be interesting to have this compared to people who can kind of remember of like the ebbs and flows of the economy and how is it just feel really bad right now, or is this actually the least affordable everything's always ever been?
But to the point of your question, 37% of Trump voters in 2024, not 2016 or 2024, that just happened. They also believe it's the worst they've ever seen. That's a large number of the 70 plus million voters who are saying, hold on a second, it's not a Democratic hoax. We're part of the problem here. So whether you're talking about party affiliation, age, race, gender, income, most Americans, not all, most Americans say affordability is the number one topic. That's not surprising. So I guess my question is for all of you out there, as you're looking at your groceries and your bills, and whether it's automotive, the car side of things, or your housing, food, certainly Christmas, right? Because that's we're in the midst of that right now. People shopping, and there's some great data that's starting to come out on what happened last week or early this week. On we spent some money, but the back end of that is we borrowed a lot more money.
Did you also see that we spent more money, but we bought less?
Yes.
Because things are actually just more expensive.
And credit Dave Spano, and I think we were cautious as well, because you get the early numbers. Oh, spending was up, 9%, on Black Friday. But, what does it tell us? What's the numbers behind the numbers? So that is something we have to pay attention to. So, as you know, if you're a listener to the show, and if you're new to the show, I'm not a fan of the president's policies generally or his administration. And I could tick off about 10 members that I don't like. I think they're unqualified. RFK Jr., Hegseth, Noam, and there's a bunch of them. But when you try to make this a political argument when it's clearly not, that's not efficient government.
Well, and I think it's interesting of it being the same side, the different side of the same coin as far as Biden's economy, where inflation was so high, and the Biden administration and the Democratic Party trying to explain, it's the pandemic and supply chains and all these different reasons, but trying to point to different things instead of just calling a spade and saying, yes, we know things were more expensive. And now, additionally, things still don't feel like there's been any relief. And how the short-term memory of voters sometimes just now shifting the blame to Trump. But this is a problem in our economy and how our systems are set up that defies who's in charge. Right? Like these are a lot of different moving forces as far as our markets and I would say capitalism as far as just trying to get as many dollars as possible and prioritizing shareholders over humanity and a lot of different things. It's just like it's greed, right?
Corporate greed.
Yeah. And so there's a lot of things here that it doesn't matter. I don't think matters who's in charge. And so I don't want to totally lay blame at Trump's feet, like, oh, this is his fault. I don't think it is. I don't think there's a lot of laser focus on fixing it.
No.
And I don't know if just a blue wave in the midterms next year would fix it either.
No, I mean, Democrats have to sort this out as well, because you can't just constantly go to the, we're going to pay for this. We have a exploding deficit. It's trillioning up every few months. That we can't do this. I'm a big fan of quoting the people who actually matter. Now, the president is not solely responsible for this. There's a lot of administrations, a lot of bad policy that are part of this as well, and just the economy in general. A lot of different things infiltrate how the prices are set and how our economy works. But when you say a month ago that I'm the affordability president, direct quote, and then you said this week affordability, same word, is a Democratic scam and a con job, what is it? That seems to be a bit of a flip-flop again. And last time I checked, Republicans and conservatives love to use that term when it came to Democratic leaders forever. Oh, they flipped on this, flipped on that. This is the direct example of the president of the United States, who's not solely responsible, as we said, but part of the sell job we need as Americans, confidence in our system. When you change your mind that quickly on one of the most important topic, doesn't give me confidence that we have a solution to this. So again, call it what you want. This matters. It's not a partisan issue. And yes, this is a speech, because if either side doesn't figure this out, you're going to have a hard time winning an election next year.
Well, that was going to be the other half of my point. I was like, well, I think functionally, if you really pick it apart, it's not any party's fault, or at least in the short term. But politically, it's a disaster if there's not any kind of relief within the next year.
And one more shot at Speaker Mike Johnson. If I hear, again, yesterday, I'm not aware of that story. How are you not aware of the stories that every American already knows about? God, that guy's an idiot. I used the term I said I wasn't going to use as much. All right. She's Kristin, I'm Steve. We got to talk about the other story that's generating a lot of headlines, and that's the conduct, the words, again, of Pete Hegseth, who leads the Department of Defense. Man, he has gotten himself into a box of problems.
I don't know. I don't know if the Polymarket has a bet going right now.
That's a
I'll
good
look that
question.
up at commercial to see if Polymarket is taking bets on how long Hegseth lasts in this position.
Yeah, and that question's going to tick up on the questions for Bill and Joe tomorrow. How long does he survive?
Yeah, absolutely.
I've got a number. We'll get to that after this on 620 WTMJ.
They saved over $50,000 after we sold their home at only 1.9%. You don't have to pay 6% to market and sell your home. Hundreds of Century 21 Benefit Realty clients will attest. You can get it all for only 1.9%. The more value your home has, the more important it is to find the best real estate commission and the marketing ability to get top dollar. And with Century 21 behind us, that's what we have. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. Half a century of marketing expertise joined with over 20 years of local market knowledge. Not to mention the savings you'll see after you get our best commission right up front, which, by the way, is only 1.9% on the listing side of your home. Join that together and you can be sure that you've chosen the right real estate experts who have the experience to market your home effectively and give you a commission that'll end up paying for things like new furniture. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Hey, check this out. There's free pizza today at the Mine Shaft Family Restaurant in Hartford. Seriously. It is free. John Mercure here. Every Thursday, when you buy one pizza, you get a second pizza free. Buy 2, get 2 free pizzas. Buy 10, get 10 free. If you buy 25 pizzas, you'll get 25 free pizzas. Bring in pizza today for your loyal employees or for your holiday office or company party. Your employees will love the delicious pizza, and you'll love it because half your pizzas are free, saving your company a ton of money. Order now, pick up later, or dine in. Coaches, bring in your team today for the free pizza with that huge game room. It's super affordable team bonding. Don't cook and clean. Buy one pizza, get one free at the Mine Shaft today. Plenty to take home for a snack or leftovers, maybe lunch at work tomorrow. The Mine Shaft is decorated with lights and Christmas characters. It is big-time fun in festive downtown Hartford, near the interstate in Oshkosh. Lots of seating, close parking. It's the Mine Shaft.
This season, the Bucks are going for it all.
A game winner for the Greek Freak.
Go inside the team's pursuit of a championship on Locked In, the new season of the Behind the Bucks podcast, narrated by Bucks legend Marcus Johnson. Hear from the team stars on why they think they can make history. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Are you worried about running out of money in retirement? Wondering about how to pay less taxes? Join me, Tony Drake, for the Retirement Ready Show, live every Saturday at noon and Sunday at 7 a.m. on WTMJ 620 or 103.3 FM. We'll talk about smart strategies to help you retire with confidence. Don't miss it.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
Goodyear, Dunlop, Kelly, Continental, General, you name it, we got it.
Plus, free flat tire repair, free tire rotations, and more.
So when you're due for tire service, schedule it at richlawns.com.
That's Rich Lawns with 2 N's.
Rich Lawns.
10:47 on 620 WTMJ. Kristin, Brey, Scaffidi on Point Taken. Yes, Point Taken is the name of the show. And the podcast, you can always catch up if you missed anything. Pete Hegseth, he's the Secretary of the Department of Defense. He
not looking great.
No, he's scrambling. I mean, he also has shifted positions on what he knew and what he didn't. And now he's saying he basically was out of the room when the second strike happened. He was in a meeting. Now they're requesting that information.
So I read this from Tom Tillis, who's a Republican, and I think this was Caitlin Collins on her show. He said, "I'll take it at face value right now. What Secretary Hegseth said. He said he wasn't there. He said he was busy doing other things. I would assume a part of the record was what was the other thing that he was doing that was more important than a battle damage assessment over the first strike in the Caribbean. He said that he wants a detailed account of what the defense secretary did and what decisions were all made over the course of the attack. And he said, quote, all that's important because, see, Secretary Hegseth is the leader of arguably the most complex, consequential organization in the history of mankind. Making a bad mistake could start a war. Making a mistake can get American military personnel killed."
I've said before, the accounts on some of these strikes, it takes a while to assemble the details and the facts. At least one of these strikes, a family is now claiming, and they're going to obviously be fleshed out, that they were just fishing. Now, anybody can say that, right? And I guess we don't know until the true facts come out. But if Hegseth and his department is claiming that these are basically drug boats, and they may or may not be, some of them probably are, you still have to follow the rules of engagement. You can't just do willy-nilly whatever you want. Now, I've called him a poser before. He's a guy he's like, again, just projecting, probably spends more time on hair and makeup than he does on actually reading the reports that his great subordinates are probably putting together. My take. You can do with that what you want with that. But I think this, again, the superficiality of leadership in many departments is not helping us. And this is a problem because, as you just said, these things can escalate really quickly. And the president has alluded to, Donald J. Trump, alluded to, this is the beginning of this story because he's alluded to land forces, land troops. What does that mean? We're going to send U.S. forces into foreign countries now to go chase? How have we seen that play out in the recent decades of this country? Not well.
But I also just don't think, if this is all over drug trafficking, I don't know if this is the source of the problem. Like,
it could
drugs
be one
come
source,
from more.
sure.
Yeah, it could be one source. Like, what I've read so far is that drugs are trafficked through Venezuela, but they're not necessarily coming from Venezuela.
No.
Like, Colombia is still producing the cocaine.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. Like, if what we're trying to solve is drugs, first of all, the demand's always going to be there, and so when there's a will, there's a way. But it just doesn't seem very clear. And I've said this, I think, either earlier this week or last week, was just, is it a regime change? Is it oil? Is it drugs? What are we doing? And what is the like mission accomplished look like?
Again, what is the actual plan other than do these high profile, very public boat strikes that you can then put out on your White House social media accounts? Like, we're getting the job done. Until I see real numbers that were affecting or impacting the flow of drugs in the United States, it's just people yakking. And again, Congress, what do you say about this? Because last time I checked, Congress authorizes war actions, right? That's the law of the land. And our president has some limited availability to do that or options to do that, but this is not that, in my opinion. We got to take a quick break here. We obviously have Jerry Magini coming up in the second hour. UrbanMilwaukee.com is where we find his great work. And we'll talk about local politics, local news, and all of that. Thanks for tuning in on this Thursday edition of Point Taken on 620 WTMJ.
When we're out in your town, come say hi as we broadcast live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
Anytime you hear us when we're on the road, you can find us live from our brand new mobile studio.
Whether it be Summerfest, EAA, Opening Day, Air and Water Show, wherever we may be.
You can see us on the radio, live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
News Radio 620 WTMJ.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scaffidi from Milwaukee Weight Loss. Hey, if you're thinking about your weight gain during the holidays, that's a common issue, right? How about thinking about Milwaukee Weight Loss? I lost 45 pounds this year since January. I've kept the weight off with the help of Milwaukee Weight Loss and their great coaches out there. If you want to lose some weight, 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 pounds, Milwaukee Weight Loss can help you do that. Not the trendy stuff, not the shots, not the meds, or the Meals Bar shakes, all of that. They lose the weight, help you lose the weight without the crazy workouts. In addition, all of those things, people have the sort of the yo-yo results, right? Comes off, comes back on. Milwaukee Weight Loss helps you reset your metabolism, and it stays off. I've kept the weight off all year, and I tend to keep it off through the winter, those months where you're not moving around as much, not outside as much. So it's doctor-developed and natural. Help thousands of people just like me and you lose 10 to 20% of their body weight in just 8 weeks. Stop the yo-yo stuff, as I just said. There's a smarter, faster, safer way to do it. MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Call today. Schedule your free consultation. Starts with a conversation, right? 262-393-2334. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
If a Lenovo computer for your business is on your holiday list, don't shop around. Just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com. It's your last chance to get exclusive deals on the PCs you want for your business, like the ThinkPad X9 14 Aura Edition and Yoga 7i 2-in-1. So avoid all that shopping chaos and price comparing, and just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com, where PCs are up to 35% off. That's Lenovo.com.
Lenovo.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Turn that office gathering into something bold, fun, and completely unexpected. A unique, unforgettable celebration at Mission 94 Firearms Education Center in Kenosha, where safety and education always come first. Whether it's a corporate event, team outing, or family get-together, Mission 94 delivers. Private range access for your group, expert instructions from trained professionals, and customizable catering. Make this season one to remember with the gift of education at Mission 94. Book your holiday event today. Just Google Mission 94.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Christmas, bah, bug and hum.
Wow.
What is this?
Angry Christmas song.
It's from All of the Other Reindeer, a childhood favorite of mine.
I've never even heard of that.
I never heard of that one.
It was made by Matt Groening.
Oh, famous. All right, so I don't typically spend too much time on like the negative stuff. We do read them occasionally because I think it's important that people have other opinions. So this is what someone from the 414 spent some time texting back to me. Steve, maybe you should spend more time on hair and makeup than spouting off stupid statements that you think make you seem smart and cool to listeners. Is that your takeaway from what I said? That maybe we should be really smart and strategic about how we go after these problems? And was the hair and makeup, maybe it was a cheap shot. Is that what the texter's alluding to? Cheap shot?
It's a little bit of a cheap shot. I don't think he's actually, as much as he is well coiffed. I'm not sure that's exactly. I think he is. I think he's in over his head, right? And that was the bigger thing of he has, as Tom Tilla said, one of, if not the most important jobs as far as the consequences that can happen from mistakes. And I think I have no idea what it's like to be him and trying to posture like he knows what he's doing. But I have to imagine he is honestly, maybe figuratively, crapping his pants every day as far as how big this job is and how little experience he actually has. And the defense mechanisms are up in trying to just survive and not end up in prison.
Yeah, and we're going to ask Bill and Joe this question tomorrow, how long he survived. I'm giving him a couple weeks, few weeks.
Oh, I forgot. I looked it up on Polymarket. So for people not familiar, Polymarket is like a betting website where you can bet on pretty much anything as far as stuff that will happen. So Time 2025 Person of the Year, there's a bet on. It will be artificial intelligence, Russian versus Ukraine ceasefire. Will it happen? So you can bet on it. So as of right now, will Pete Hegseth be out as Secretary of Defense by March 31st? In this moment, people are betting there's a 26% chance. On December 1st, it was up to 50.
Yeah, and I think it's probably higher than that, but we'll see. The president has been very loyal to many of his secretary of his cabinet, so we'll see. All right, got Jeremy and Janine, UrbanMilwaukee.com coming up after news, which is next on 620 WTMJ.
Crisp air, cozy sweaters, and a home that's actually ready for fall. Exterior Pros and Baths is giving $3,000 off roofing, siding, windows, or bath remodels this month. Don't let your home be the only thing falling apart this season. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. Exterior Pros and Baths, because your house deserves a little sweater weather too.
At Capri Communities, they believe people of every age deserve to enjoy life.
I recently moved my dad into a Capri community. He has gained such new independence. His falls have decreased, he's eating healthy meals, and going on great new adventures. Knowing Dad is in a great place really gives me the peace of mind I needed. And now, we're both enjoying life again.
Give the care that has your parent enjoying life again at Capri Communities. Get started today at capricommunities.com.
It's here on consignment from over 10,000 nationwide partners. From very high-end, distinctive furniture, unique antiques and original art, to tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. Premium home decor priced right at 25 to 40% off retail prices. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Smart interior designers know that what they'll see here is going to be almost impossible to find anywhere else, especially at our consignment prices. Premium home decor that's gently loved and close to new. And what we carry can raise the wow factor of anyone's home decor. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Hey, it's John McGivern here. You know I love Network Health. One of the reasons is that they're local and they understand how important that is. Their exceptional customer service isn't just words on a page. It's what they do. It's what they've always done for over 41 years. Call 833-7-NETWORK today. HMO and POS plans underwritten by Network Health Plan. Compensation has been provided for using this endorsement of Network Health.
Looking for a fun and meaningful way to kick off the holiday season? Join us for the 20th anniversary of Capco's Kids to Kids Toy Drive, Saturday, December 13th at the Kasmeric Center in Grafton. This free, family-friendly event is a celebration of giving. Bring a new, unwrapped toy and help brighten the holidays for children and families in need across Wisconsin. To learn more or get involved, visit kidstokidstoydrive.com and join us on December 13th in Grafton.
Breaking news as it happens. Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
Just after 11 o'clock, it is 14 degrees. It's going to be sunny today, but very cold, only a high around 17. Wind chills below zero. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Neil Doyle. With that Arctic air sweeping across southeast Wisconsin, warming shelters will be open around the Milwaukee area.
The Milwaukee Coalition on Housing and Homelessness is operating 6 overnight warming centers through the end of March 2026.
They also offer access to support service and basic necessities like a hot meal.
Dr. Ben Weston from the Medical College of Wisconsin says shelters are for women, families, singles, and men, and are open nightly.
And they're popular. Last winter, our warming center saw a 36% increase. Unfortunately, we expect these numbers to grow.
Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
The woman accused of threatening students when her dog wandered onto school property pleads not guilty. 7-year-old Judith Plow of Sussex faces 1 misdemeanor for disorderly conduct and has a no-contact order with Richmond School. Prosecutors say she started swearing and told students that if she attended the school, that she would shoot the teachers.
Ma'am, I don't know if you realize how big of a bullet you dodged today.
I do. I do.
Plow is in custody on a $1,000 bond. She is due back in court next month. The FBI says an arrest has been made in the investigation into who placed pipe bombs near the U.S. Capitol the night before the January 6th riots. News Nation national security contributor Tracy Walder says there are several reasons why the agency has not yet released a name.
First, they want to ensure that this person or persons is processed. Also, there may be other people involved in the investigation that we don't know about, and they are looking at potentially making additional arrests. They wouldn't want to tip anyone off who might know that person.
The man was reportedly arrested in Northern Virginia. The number of layoff announcements this year has hit a 5-year high. More from CBS News correspondent Michael Wallace.
The outplacement firm Challenger Gray & Christmas says there were more than 71,000 layoffs announced in November, pushing the total for the year above 1.1 million. That's the most since 2020, the first year of the pandemic, and it's a 54% jump from the same 11-month period a year ago. Companies that are slashing their payrolls have cited corporate restructuring, tariffs, and the switch to AI.
Yesterday, ADP reported private employers cut 32,000 jobs last month, the biggest drop in more than 2 years. Time for news about your money and the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is down about 36 points at 47,846. The NASDAQ is now up 50 at 23,504. And the S&P 500 into the green, up about 7 points at 6,856. Financial planning at every level: Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:04.
Are you hosting this holiday season or family staying at the house? Let's get things tightened up or even improved with a timely project from my team at Horner Plumbing. Vince Vitrano here. These are the folks in my contacts list under plumber. Let's get Horner out to the house. Get you a free quote on that project that you've been thinking about, talking about, pushing off, upfront pricing, and an honest assessment from Horner, so you know the project will fit your budget and your timeline. Just heard from Erin over there at Horner, and she tells me they do have room on the schedule for most projects in time for your holiday guests. So whether that's getting a leaky shower or sink fixed for folks who are going to be staying at the home, or a major project so you can accommodate them, my team at Horner is ready to go. With the holidays fast approaching, now's the perfect time to schedule your free quote. Let Horner Plumbing help you get those home projects wrapped up before the season begins. $50 off your first service when you tell them Vinny sent you. Horner Plumbing. Find them online at hornerplumbing.com.
The Previent Law Firm has document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. The firm's office manager, Chris Wilms. Chris, why James?
I like the fact that the company is local.
Locally owned and managed for over 40 years.
I've toured their facility, which is amazing in itself. It's run by some very wonderful, family-oriented people.
James Imaging Systems, AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, digital transformation, all backed by real, old-fashioned local service and expertise from great people.
And I can always get a hold of my representative, who I have on speed dial, or I have a cell phone.
It's pretty much that way with the entire team at James.
Yes, I'm always getting very responsive answers when I call tech support.
James Imaging Systems.
So it's very important that I have a local, responsive company to keep us up and going.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 262-781-7700.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Just in, Giannis Antetokounmpo expected to miss about 2 to 4 weeks with a right calf strain. That injury happening last night early on in the first quarter against the Pistons, but the Bucks were able to come back from an 18-point deficit. They beat Detroit 113-109. The Week 14 of the NFL, or I should say as well, the Bucks hosting the 76ers tomorrow night. Week 14 of the NFL kicks off tonight. Lions hosting the Cowboys. Packers wide receiver Jaden Reed could return this week after suffering a broken collarbone back in Week 2.
I don't know, man. We're gonna see. Time will tell. I mean, I just got to get cleared by the docs, really. That's really the last step, to be honest.
Green Bay hosting Chicago this Sunday. That's a 3:25 kick at Lambeau Field. Men's college hoops, Wisconsin opening up the Big Ten season with the win over Northwestern 85-73. Badgers volleyball hosting the first 2 rounds of the NCAA tournament. They'll be on the court tonight to take on Eastern Illinois. We'll have coverage of the match this evening. That starts at 6 o'clock here on WTMJ. Let's take a look at the roads, your WTMJ time saver traffic. Just a couple of our slowdowns on 94 east westbound there through the construction zone. Some of those backups starting right at Hawley Road. Otherwise, rest of the system looking pretty good. Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. We will see sunshine today, but it is chilly, only a high around 17. We'll see wind chills below 0, and then even colder tonight, partly cloudy. We could see a low of 7 near the lake. Could be 0 inland this evening. Again, those wind chills below 0 this evening. Tomorrow will be partly sunny. We could see a couple of snow flurries later on, a high around 27. Heading into the weekend, Saturday, partly sunny with highs in the upper 20s. Could maybe see a little bit of snow early on Sunday, a high around 22. And then sunny on Monday with a high near 23 degrees. Right now, it's 13 in Sheboygan, sitting at 14 degrees in Racine, and it's 13 degrees in Milwaukee. I'm Neil Doyle, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:08.
11 o'clock on a Thursday means it's time for a full hour of city stories with Urban Milwaukee President Jeremy Janine on Point Taken.
Oh, you made it, Kristin. First of all, thanks to all of you for finding us on your radio dial or your live stream, whatever that is. Jeremy Janine, Milwaukee.com now is official. I think you were asking for this, right? Weren't you?
I don't think we did ask for it, but I think we decided that he deserved it.
I joked about it because our good friend Daniel Bice got one, and you guys were promoting it. So.
Yes. And you've earned your. Not like you haven't done the heavy lifting to get here, because your reporting at UrbanMilwaukee.com is some of the best there is. So you've made it. You can
Congratulations.
Now say, maybe we'll get you a shirt
Bucket
at some
list
point.
checked off.
All right. Here next comes the coffee mug and the golden watch.
Hey, before we get to some of the other stuff you're going to talk about, and I love this museum property story, so we'll probably go to that next. But did we milk every bit of possible juice out of the Hugh Jackman story in Milwaukee media? Because, man, he was not. First of all, I like him. He's a great actor. He's committed to the cause. He's sincere. So it's not an attack on him. But, man, we milked the hell out of that story.
Well, I think Hugh Jackman made it easy because he seemed happy to be here.
Right? He seemed so joyful and excited.
It wasn't just inside media, inside baseball. They call it the car wash when you just kind of come and you do your radio hit and your TV appearance and everything. He seemed genuinely. He went to Cops. He went to MPS. He went... Kegelson in West Dallas.
He went to the Performing Arts High School, and they sang for him, which was incredibly touching.
And it didn't seem performative in the I'm checking the box. It was I'm here. I'm going to engage. I'm going to serve a lot of custard, and he seemed to have a great time.
Yeah, he seemed genuinely charmed.
It was
by our Midwest
sufficiently
niceness.
milked, but well earned.
All right, where would you like to start? Because you had some great stories this week. I'm intrigued by the museum story, the property there, but we can go where you want to go.
Let's hold off on that, and let's start with the flag, because we have not milked that for all it's worth.
Really? I didn't think you were going to go there.
Are you sure?
Wow.
I am now confident having seen it.
Okay.
The inside. So if... We talked about the flag.
When we last touched on this story, where were we?
Probably late June. The Common Council, after kind of hemming and hawing, said, okay, we'll give this another go. We're going to create a task force. We're not going to pay them. We're not going to give them any financial resources, so no city money is being spent on this. But we're going to give them 4 months to host a design contest. Then they'll come back to us. And the idea was, at the city birthday party, which is on January 29th this year, Milwaukee's 180th birthday, that the new flag could be unveiled. And we'd probably all know what it was before then, but it'd be this coming out party for the flag. Well, it turns out that this task force is completely stuck in neutral, that I had some internal emails provided to me that show the task force met once, they selected a chair. They had 4 months to do their work. Then they met again a month later where they discussed how they might host a design contest in the future. Then a month after that, so we're in September now, and the due date is essentially November 1st, the attorney who got assigned to assist the task force said, well, I'm not quite sure what my ask is here, nor am I an intellectual property lawyer. So, wait, what do you want me to do again? Well, then by the time we got to late October, the chair of the task force wasn't responding to the emails, and finally they did get together. And then there was, okay, I'll draft a quick follow-up. This will be easy. And then again, the task force chair, Venus Williams of Alice's Garden, wasn't responding. So we're now into December 1st. Supposedly in the last 24 hours, there's been some discussion. There's been Peter Burgelis, the alderman, has wanted to move forward. The city clerk's office says they're ready to move forward, doing something. City attorney's office says we're waiting for Venus Williams. And Venus Williams, via the mayor's office, tells me she's waiting for the city attorney's office. So there's lots of pointing in different directions and almost no action.
And no drafts of any flag.
No drafts of any flag whatsoever.
I'm to the point where
Just let it die.
Yeah.
Just let the people who like the people's flag fly the people's flag. Let the people who like the official flag do whatever it's going to do. Just let it go. That's my take.
That being said, and I agree with you, what's the objection to the people's flag?
The objection from certain members of the Common Council, and this goes back to 2018, so the majority of the Common Council has since turned over, is that the process, it was not an official process. It wasn't inclusive to select it. And it's not represented throughout the entire city. Now I'm on this weird quest to run every street in the city, and I have noticed I do see the people's flag really throughout the city.
Yes.
So it is widespread. Steve flies at Note Creek.
I do it on my shed.
Do you really?
I have a flagpole. I love that flag. I think it's a great flag. I just looked at it recently.
Like, I don't think there's going to be any process where everyone feels included. It's a big city. People aren't necessarily paying attention. They don't have skin in the game. Like, there's never going to be a perfect process for this. And even if they do get to another flag, there's going to be a ton of people who don't like it. It was like, this is dumb. I'm going to keep flying the people's flag. That's
it's
fun.
certainly a likely outcome.
So much wasted energy on this.
Given my thoughts about public art, you've been in studio enough to me. What's my next question to you?
Well, about where the calling appears on the flag.
Did that have all this public input on what we think about the calling? Or since it's been...
Well, I think the representative of a flag is a little different than one piece of street
not
art.
in my mind. I have no confidence, given that some people think the calling is great art, that they would screw this up as well. It would. I am someone who doesn't even live in Milwaukee, and I fly the people's flag on my shed in the summer occasionally, along with the Summerfest flag. Again, an event that happens in Milwaukee. I live in Oak Creek. I think those are demonstrations that a guy like me, who's white, old, and not even living in the city, works in the city, likes some of these things that maybe we didn't have a formal process. Maybe we don't always need to have this labored, overanalyzed. Pick a descriptor. Maybe that's not the way to do everything.
You really riled us up with the stupid flag story to start off with.
It was bait.
It's always based.
Rage bait. We were just talking about it yesterday.
That was a great segment. People should listen to it.
It's always based on my hate of the calling. It always comes back to that on me. And again, I'm open and minded enough to say, okay, calling supporters, let's stick it on the lake. So you're walking along the beautiful lakefront, and then all of a sudden you stumble upon the calling. It would look fantastic. So don't. I've joked about just taking a torch to it. No, I'm an open-minded guy. Put it on the lakefront, not on where it is now, on the end of Wisconsin Avenue, obscuring what is a brilliant view of the amazing art museum. But get it out of there. That's all I'm saying. I think
let's move on.
That's a balanced opinion.
Keep it rolling. We got a lot of stories.
I can
to
go
cover
another
today.
segment on this.
No, absolutely. Shut it down. All right, when we come back, we'll talk about the ICE Center.
We can certainly talk about that. We can also hit on already the text line is lighting up with what's happening with the current public museum
Okay, let's do
when
that.
it moves.
He is Jeremy Janine from Urban Milwaukee, and this is Point Taken.
Education changes everything. It opens doors, shapes futures, and builds the foundation for our children's success. At City Forward Collective, we're working to transform our city's schools and ensure every Milwaukee child receives the high-quality education they deserve. We've taken real steps forward, but our work is far from done. This giving season, we're asking you to join us. Together, we can secure a stronger future for our children and a stronger future for Milwaukee. To support our mission, visit cityforwardcollective.org/donate. That's cityforwardcollective.org/donate.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
We see you out there doing things your way. So why shop the same retail giants as everyone else when you can find the same trusted products you want and need at unbeatable farm and fleet prices? Like Power Service Diesel Fuel Supplement, just $12.49. Save $10 on 200-pound AgriMaster protein tubs and assorted Nutrina animal feed. Buy 3, get 1 free. So head in store or online with convenient same-day delivery or drive-through pickup. Right here at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guest, West Bend Vacuum. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. At 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Editorial comment by our producer, Jazz. Think you got the smarts? Well, join Vince Vitrano, Greg Hill, Eric Bilstead, Sandy Max for WTMJ's Trivia Showdown next Wednesday, December 10th at 7 p.m. at one of my favorite restaurants, Trattoria de Carlo in Pizzeria in Oak Creek. It's 2 blocks from my house, man. It is amazing. Frank Carini, the owner, does a great job. Their food, you like traditional Sicilian food, but that's just part of it because this is a Quizmaster trivia event benefiting, of course, the great Capco's Kids Toy Drive. So I'm going to be gone. I'm going to be in LA for a little bit and a little Mexican trip, but I want you to overwhelm that place. Show up, get there early, have the appetizers, have the eggplant strips, have the pizza that is amazing, all the pasta dishes. Show up for us for 620 WTMJ, the gang, the crew, the teammates, but have fun. It is a great local place in Oak Creek. I know some of you Franklin people come over because they still remember me as mayor and they love me. So come on over from Franklin. Come on over from South Milwaukee. Come on up from Caledonia, Sturtevant, wherever. Have fun. Did I sell the hell out of that? I did.
You did.
Yeah.
Good job.
And more importantly, bring an unused toy, unwrapped, or text the word toy to 855-616-1620 to donate. You can donate cash, which is always appreciated. Bring your crew. Play for a great cause. These are fun. I think this is the last one, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I have to hear. I did not hear how last night went.
Pretty
technically,
good.
there's one more with some ESPN hosts.
Oh, yeah, ESPN has.
All right, there you go.
We'll give that some love. I'll probably talk about this one more time before we get out of here today. But all right, so Jeremy Janine, UrbanMilwaukee.com, our regular guy on Thursday. All right, so the museum is, when is that done, the new one?
Early 2027, I believe, is the general window.
It's up. It's, they're doing all the things they do in the
I
construction.
think it looks pretty cool, actually.
Yeah,
It's very futuristic, but I feel like the new building looks cool. That's my opinion.
I think it fits in that area. Yeah.
Yeah, it's by Fiserv and
There's a freeway off ramp there, and it's a nice welcome entry compared to a one-story auto body shop or what was there before. I do think we've made a great industry now of people that are going to have to clean that building to keep it looking nice and white in the future.
Milwaukee loves the white buildings. We have a lot, even though.
I mean, it is called the Cream City.
Yeah,
There's
but
a lot of Cream City
cream
brick.
and white. But I mean, look at the Barrett buildings, right? Couture and Moderne. I mean, they're whites, and there's a lot of white towers. What is the fascination with white, do you think?
I think it's just a trend in architecture at the moment. 'Cause you could go to Chicago and make the same argument, which is we are the Cream City, they're devil in the white city down there.
Ah, yes.
I just love how you drop the architectural. That shows you why Jeremy Janine is here. But let's go back to the story. So the existing museum.
Yes, which is
right down the street, basically.
For several decades has been around James Level, 7th and Wells. It's a 3.7-acre site. The county owns the property.
Oh, boy.
The county owns the collections that are in the museum, although a nonprofit runs it now. So the nonprofit will move to the new building in 2027. That's slowly starting to happen now. And then the county will be left with this 3.7 acres. And you're like, how big is that? That's really big for a downtown site. The 2040 downtown plan calls for dividing it by extending 8th Street through it, which currently terminates. So it'll likely be broken up. But we now have a conceptual plan to see what actually could go here. Because, we could hire architecture students to be like, 80-story building could go here. Well, reality doesn't allow that. But Bear Development Group, CG Schmidt, which is the general contractor, and Grafe got together, and they determined that the lots there, when you divide it all up, could host almost 600 units of housing. Now, whether that's affordable housing, market rate housing, condos, apartments, they didn't get way into the weeds on that. But they did produce some renderings. You can see them in Urban Milwaukee on an article by Graham Kilmer, kind of see the scale of the buildings they're thinking. One of the things that would remain is MacArthur Square, the city's biggest, completely underutilized park. You probably couldn't even get there if you tried right now. It is a very strange space. Mm-hmm. But we do now have a plan of what's going to happen, and the county does say that they intend to sell the site as soon as the museum moves out.
Why? Before we talk about more of that, why is MacArthur Park so underutilized? Why is it just abandoned, even though you have that incredible view of the entire city when you're there?
So really what MacArthur Square is at the end of the day is a city-owned parking structure attached to a county-owned building. So there's this weird governmental issue. And then it's elevated slightly. So you can't just walk into the park. You have to walk up to the park.
Yeah.
And so it's a real nightmare to get there. And I've tried to get there sometimes from within the courthouse, and you really can't. The doors are locked.
So dumb.
So using your expertise and your sort of knowledge about Milwaukee, I was reading some of the text. They'd say build another big hotel. And they're talking about this texture is talking about combining at the properties. There's another parcel there we talked about, right?
There is, to the east of it, there's also a state office building.
Yeah,
the state's going to move out in short order. That's probably the more logical hotel site because it's directly across from the convention center.
So you think it's more likely that it would be split up or pieced up?
I think you're more likely to see action faster if you split it up. 3.7 acres it's a big site to pull off. If you think about like BMO Tower, that sits on less than an acre. So that's a massive 25-story building that is on a very tight site.
I mean, housing. I mean, I was just reading some Chicago reporting about they're debating taking some property and building some of these affordable. But I mean, Chicago. Well, I'm older than you guys, but the legacy was they built some of these things and they were horrific. Cabrini Green and Robert Taylor homes. They had horrific levels of crime and problems, and they're sort of coming back into popularity, not linking poverty with crime, but that's sort of that atmosphere.
I mean, I think social science says there is a link between poverty
There's
and
a lot
crime.
of. Let's keep it it's an open debate. Let's just say that I've worked in Cabrini Green in early in my career. It was a tough area.
Oh, no,
for a lot of
I'm
reasons.
not. I'm saying that there is a link.
Yes.
That when people get desperate, the level of crime goes up.
So I know that idea of affordable housing is always out there, but taking that property and making it affordable housing, okay, who's paying for that?
So the primary way we, the federal government, fund affordable housing now is through low-income housing tax credits. Those go into often mixed-income buildings, so that if you look at Robert Taylor Homes, Cabrini Green, two great examples, Pruitt, Igo, and St. Louis, that they were these silos that were only, and they weren't even really affordable housing. They were people that essentially had no incomes, all clustered together.
Yeah.
These are people that affordable housing today is up to even 80% of the area income level. So you can be making $60,000, $70,000. So it's probably your waitresses that are looking for affordable housing, not someone that has no income whatsoever. And you're not, the desire, and that's clear through all the county's affordability programs, is not to cluster those people all in one spot.
Yeah, good idea. Real quick before the break, how long to take that existing museum down, do you think?
Less than a year to demolish it.
Yeah.
It's a pretty basic
It's a hell of a
structure.
site,
Didn't they extend? Don't they have a bunch of events next year? Wasn't that the current public museum?
Yes,
Didn't they announce that they're doing a lot of 2026 events to celebrate the last year?
Absolutely. I'm sure they have food and froth and all that coming up. So the museum is very much open. You should go. I think it's the last Thursday in every month. It's free. There's all kinds of other discounted days. Pay full price. It's a wonderful facility.
I went last year. I always take my grandson Mac. It's just a cool place. And I'm looking forward to what the new museum offers, because they're going to change it up. They're going to mix it up. And change, as I said often, even when I was a former mayor, change is a good thing, even though it's hard for people to sometimes understand. So I'm looking forward to that. But celebrate the current museum, because it's a really cool place to go. Quick break. Point taken.
Office Park is melting in the dark. All the sweet green ice flowing down. Someone left the cake out in the rain.
The holidays are always a wonderful time to get engaged.
And this is the perfect year to do it.
Really? Why is that?
We have a special collection of double dog dazzling engagement rings for just $3,998.
Tell her what makes them double dog dazzling, Monica.
These bridal sets are covered in diamonds and have a 3-carat created diamond center stone.
Wow.
Or you can choose a 3/4 carat natural diamond for just $1,798. And Kessler's will contribute a free 14-carat gold mounting and mount your diamond in it for you.
Wow.
Or you can get 5 matching diamonds side by side that spread all across the top of your finger.
2 carats total weight.
5 big created diamonds in a ring that will rock the house. Tell her how much, Rick.
$1,998.
Wow.
You guessed it, Sarah. We call it the Wow Collection.
18 months financing at 0% is available.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you and our holiday hours, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Vince Vitrano here. Don't let your hard-earned vision benefits go to waste. Get new eyewear at Shopco Optical. Now is the time to use up your FSA funds and insurance dollars before they expire December 31st. Whether you need new glasses, contacts, prescription sunglasses, or an eye exam, now is the time to visit Shopco Optical. Shopco's knowledgeable team will guide you through every step, making sure you get the most from your pre-tax dollars. Don't wait. Call or visit shopco.com to schedule today.
Pizza made with pride. That's what you'll get here. With a sauce recipe over 60 years in existence that we're not changing for the world. And we just can't get ourselves to skimp. So we still use only the highest quality ingredients, like our house recipe Italian sausage and our original thin crust dough that's made fresh daily and never frozen. And of course, always 100% real mozzarella cheese. You can't beat that or a Marty's Pizza.
Marty's Pizza. Do you remember when times were good? Well, they're good again. It's as good today as it was in the past. It doesn't get any better than that. Remember Marty's Pizza.
Hey, John Mercure here. I've got a great idea for your Saturday. How about joining me at 1 o'clock for Experience Wisconsin? We will check in with communities across the state. We go from the north to the south, from the Mississippi to Lake Michigan, spinning you around, introducing you to some of the people and places that make Wisconsin absolutely fantastic. On this week's show, going to be a good one, Elkhart Lake and the Northwoods. We will head to Rhinelander. Lots of ideas, cool stuff. It's Experience Wisconsin, Saturday at 1 right here on 620 WTMJ.
Jeremy Janine, UrbanMilwaukee.com. Where's that tchotchke store so we can give you some love right before the holidays? Everybody's shopping for Christmas. I will be there at some point in the...
Have you gone yet?
No, I'm going to do it between my arrival back in the States.
All right, go get some stocking stuffers.
Yes, that's what it's great for. I mean, all things Milwaukee, right?
All things Milwaukee and Wisconsin Pride, 755 North Milwaukee Street, UrbanMilwaukeeTheStore.com, online, kitty corner from Hotel Metro if you're looking for a marker.
I was driving by the other day. I said, should I stop? And I said, no, I got to get home. Well, I almost stopped.
It's nice and warm today, so that's a selling point to anyone walking by.
Yeah, right. You're being facetious because it's not warm.
Yeah, that's why you're selling
warm. So if you need to
we
warm
got the heat
up
cranked
and
up
go
in that thing. Who's paying those utility bills? Come on.
It's the steam heat from We Energies. Thank you.
Oh, you see?
The pipe into the building runs right under our store. It's a bonus on a day like today.
Interesting. What, you got a quick one because we have no time?
Yeah, so we have ICE has finally confirmed what I've long suspected, which is their facility that is now on the MSOE campus. MSOE since 2023 has wanted to redevelop this building. Half of Homeland Security moved out. ICE kept dragging their feet. They're trying to move to the northwest side. They are ready to move to the northwest side now, and they confirm they will be vacating the MSOE building.
ICE, baby. All right. We have local news with the very, very highly talented Neil Doyle coming up in a little bit. And then we have, of course, ABC. And we got lots more to talk about with Jeremy Janine, who joins us every Thursday on Point Taken. She's Kristin, I'm Steve. So local news, lots of stuff happening there. And, of course, now the latest from ABC.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. A 30-year-old man living about 30 minutes outside Washington, D.C. has been arrested by the FBI in connection with the January 2021 pipe bombs found outside the RNC and DNC headquarters. Sources familiar with the matter confirmed to ABC News that the suspect has been identified by law enforcement as Brian Cole Jr. ABC's Pierre Thomas says he was arrested at his home this morning.
Sources telling ABC News federal authorities have arrested a Northern Virginia man in connection with the placement of two potentially dangerous pipe bombs outside the headquarters of the Republican and Democratic National Committees the night before the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol.
The suspect expected to be in court for arraignment this afternoon. The commander that the White House says ordered a second strike on an alleged drug boat in September off the coast of Venezuela is briefing lawmakers behind closed doors today as concerns grow that the follow-up strike may have violated war laws. And no big winner in last night's Powerball drawing. The jackpot now up to $820 million. This is
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 11:31. I'm Neil Doyle. The Wisconsin Supreme Court will hear a case to decide whether it's illegal for local jails to hold immigrant detainees at the request of federal authorities. The Wisconsin ACLU is suing 5 sheriff's offices, claiming they teamed up with the feds to house immigrant detainees for longer than 48 hours, which they say is unlawful. The attorney representing the sheriff's offices say the ongoing partnership with ICE is legal. A Milwaukee area investor will serve as the secretary and CEO of the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation. Governor Tony Evers announced he's appointing John Miller to that role starting later this month. Miller replaces Missy Hughes, who stepped down 2 months ago as she runs for governor in a crowded Democratic field. Likely a short-term appointment for Miller, as the next governor will select their own department heads in 2027. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children still searching for a missing teen from Reedsburg. James Yablonsky was just 13 years old when he drove away from home back in June of 2023, taking his dad's cell phone with him and the family car. That car was later found near Devil's Lake State Park. Yablonsky still listed as missing, and Wednesday would have been his 16th birthday. You can find more information about him up on our website, WTMJ.com. Time for news about your money and the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management market update. The Dow is now down about 41 points at 47,841. The NASDAQ into the green, up about 12 points at 23,465. And the S&P 500 is slightly up at 6,851. Financial planning at every level: Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Let's take a look at the roads. Your WTMJ time saver traffic. Just still a couple of slowdowns there on 94 east-west in that construction zone. Some of those backups, if you're heading eastbound, that starts at 70th Street. On the other side, westbound, some of that at 35th. Again, that's going to be ongoing. It's kind of the case. We're seeing it every day there in the construction zone. Otherwise, rest of the system moving along nicely. Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. It is sunny today, but it is chilly. Only a high getting up around 17 degrees. We'll see wind chills make it feel like it's below zero. Cold again tonight, even colder, partly cloudy with temps well below zero. We could see actually temperatures around zero in some areas tonight. Partly sunny as we head into Friday. We could see a few afternoon snow flurries, a high of 27. Saturday, partly sunny, maybe some snow late, a high near 28. Some chances for early snowfall as we move into Sunday, otherwise sunny with a high of 22. And then partly sunny on Monday with highs in the low 20s. Right now, it's 10 degrees in Madison, 12 degrees in Port Washington, and we're sitting at 14 degrees in Milwaukee. I'm Neil Doyle, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:34.
Milwaukee Weight Loss is having a huge Black Friday sale with $300 off now through December 5th. Get the lowest prices of the year on the result-getting Milwaukee Weight Loss program. We know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day with no exercising, no prepackaged meals, no counting points or calories, no drugs, no surgery, and no injections with a risk of serious side effects. You can start losing those unwanted pounds either before, during, or after the holidays. No more losing weight and gaining it back. You can keep the weight off for good with this program. Visit MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com now to schedule your free consultation.
Hey, WTMJ, Steve Scaffidi here. Take advantage, like I did, of the lowest price of the year with $300 off Milwaukee Weight Loss. I lost 45 pounds this year, and here's the cool thing. I kept the weight off. Many patients, just like you and me, lost 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. Call for your free consultation. 262-449-1180. That's 262-449-1180 or MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Oh, my back.
Santa?
Gina Dello from Pella. You've been a good girl this year.
Is that why you're in here building new windows?
Santa's doing OT.
Let me make a call.
Frighteningly fast Pella team at your service. Let us take it from here, Mr. Claus. And Gina, next time.
I know. Ask for a Pella gift card. Right now, at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get 0% interest for 24 months. Visit PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. 12/31/2025.
This holiday season, the Salvation Army needs your help. Bell ringers are working hard, and our service depends on generous donations like yours. Every dollar donated helps us provide meals, shelter, and emergency support to families in crisis, not just at Christmas, but all year long. From immediate need to long-term care, your donation can create lasting change in our communities. Join us in making a difference. Volunteer as a bell ringer or donate today. Visit SalvationArmyWI.org to learn how you can help.
Welcome back to Point Taken. I am Kristin Brey. He is Steve Scaffidi, and we are talking to Jeremy Janine on a Thursday from Urban Milwaukee. I said that backwards. Jeremy Janine from Urban Milwaukee on a Thursday. Sure.
Whichever way. People got other
It's
words.
not written down. You can do whatever you want.
I can do whatever I want because
Yeah.
I am co-host. I'm not the
Sometimes you're just the
sidekick.
boss. You're just
I'm
the
not
boss
the
of-
sidekick. I am a co-host. It's equally,
Did I say you were a
equally my
sidekick?
show.
Yeah. Did I say the opposite?
No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
All right.
She's
where
like
we
giving
go-
me this glare
where
like
we
I said
going
something
next,
wrong.
Jeremy?
Well, we came back to Hot in the City by Billy Idol. So let's go to after deadly May fire, Milwaukee adds new safety requirements.
Ah.
So
Interesting.
there was the Mother's Day fire that 5 people tragically died in. Several other people were injured. This was 27th and Highland, an apartment building built in if I remember the years off the top of my head. It was built in 1972, and if it had been built in 1973, it would have had the requirement to have sprinklers. But it's grandfathered in. It was built before the sprinkler requirement. And we now know there's about 750 buildings in Milwaukee that have at least 3 units that should have sprinklers but don't. That should being that they would save lives if they were there. But they legally are not required to. And the state hasn't, there's a package of bills from Democrats to try and incentivize installing sprinklers. There's questions about what they would cost. Seems unlikely that they'll be moving at the state level. But the city has found a couple things it can do. 2 notable things. Number one, it's going to have a new disclosure. So if you sign a lease and live in one of these buildings, If you've ever lived in an apartment in Milwaukee or anywhere in Wisconsin, you're probably familiar with this lead paint disclosure. You just kind of looked at, signed, tossed to the side. In Milwaukee, you're now going to have a no sprinkler disclosure. What kind of impact that'll have, I don't know, but it will be something presented. And then the other thing is the city's going to double the amount of inspections. So state law says that you have to inspect these buildings at least once a year. It doesn't say that you can't inspect them more than that. And what that will do, will have the city going into these 750 buildings more frequently, checking for things like sprinklers, not sprinklers, for smoke alarms, other fire suppression things. But it also will assess a fee that could start to tip the scales to, okay, I'm going to get this fee every year, a couple $100 extra. Maybe it kind of washes out that I should start investing in sprinklers if I'm a building owner.
Because the fee, so the building owners get the fee because that's just part of the deal of owning the building.
You get inspected by the city, you pay a fee, and it's to cover the cost of the inspection, as state law allows it.
Interesting.
All right.
Go ahead.
Where are we going next?
We can jump quickly. We talked about it in the break before. 27th Street Bridge, another thing to watch out for with the I-94 project. This will be a local street impact. Starting next year, 27th Street over Interstate 94, which if you're familiar with Milwaukee at all, closing just part of the 27th Street Bridge means that all of it is closed, and it's a very long, about a mile-long bridge.
Yeah.
That is going to be closed. It's going to be closed at the same time the 16th Street Bridge is by Potawatomi. Those will overlap for a couple months. Unfortunate closure there. The 16th Street Bridge does allow you, by Potawatomi, to go, and the Father James Groppe Bridge, it technically is named now, to go down to the ground to Canal Street. The 27th Street Bridge doesn't have that off-ramp.
Kind of important.
So who makes these decisions that these things are going to overlap and they can't be separated?
I don't know on this particular case yet. I have people I'm going to ask, but the projects look like, based on how they lay out, that maybe the city was trying to get in advance of this project, and maybe the state will delay it a couple of months, which will really minimize it. But as it stands on the schedules of both projects, 16th Street Bridge closed through October, and then of 2026, but in spring of 2026, the 27th Street Bridge is going to close. So they'll both be closed
for the summer,
most of 2026.
So during the peak of like Brewers season, 94 is going to be under construction and both these bridges are going to be closed.
Correct.
Great. Cool.
Real quick, Beans and Barley's closing after 30-some years.
52 years,
actually.
50,
how did I miss that?
I think it's 30 years at that location.
Oh,
it used to be on Murray.
Yeah.
An interesting situation where it's on its second generation of owners. The first generation still owns the property, which has another business below, a miniature golf bar. But on the east side, it's going to close because the property's being sold, and the owners of the restaurant currently at one point said they're going to buy it, and now they say they can't buy it, and basically they've never recovered from the pandemic. They've had a health issue unfortunate health issue there with hepatitis at one point. Just things have seemed to not go well since 2020 for Beans and Barley. But a 50-year run as a restaurant is to be complimented.
Loyal customers, too. I remember talking to somebody about this a while ago, and they just love that place. So, I mean, it's cool. It's always sad when somebody, like, moves on. But, life changes. It's unfortunate.
Is Victor still being bought?
Yes, there's some interesting things happening there. So Victor's is being bought by someone that wants to open a bar and call it Vic's, even though it has no connection to Victor's. There is a coalition of people mobilizing against it reopening because it appears to be a nightclub in disguise that would be coming there. So you can find a search for Victor's on Urban Milwaukee. We have coverage of the application to open a new bar there. We don't have the scuttlebutt published yet on what's happening, but I just revealed it to you there that there is a concern that it's a nightclub in disguise, not just a bar.
Oh.
What bar in town has picked up the slack for like white single males who wanted to pick up older women? Just curious.
I could get in a lot of trouble for offering different names quickly, but there are certainly many. I would suggest looking around Cathedral Square.
Oh.
Wow. News you can use.
There you go. There you go.
Wow. How about that? I'll take a quick break here on 620 WTMJ.
Are the changing seasons making you crave a getaway? Let Fox World Travel help you plan the perfect all-inclusive resort or cruise vacation to escape the cold. We've got special deals with Apple Vacations, Delta Vacations, Princess Cruises, Celebrity Cruises, and more. Whether you book online or with a travel advisor, Fox World Travel has your back. Visit foxworldtravel.com or call 866-GO-FOX-GO today.
Hey, it's WTMJ, Steve Scaffidi for QC Kinetics. Why do I talk about it? Because they changed my life when it comes to my elbow pain. I had bad tennis elbow, and it hurt to turn a doorknob. So I went to QC Kinetics, talked to Dr. Ashley Caravelli and her team, and they were outstanding. They're great communicators beyond all the other great things they do on the medicine side of things. But they actually healed my elbow pain. So 5 treatments this summer using my own body's healing abilities, repaired and restored my elbow, helps me move better, live better, feel like myself again. And that's really essentially your body's comeback story, powered by your very own cells that you built in the first place. No surgery, no pain pills, no long recovery. Long-term relief, making the new year your turning point. Well, let's stop letting the pain define you. It's time to take that first step, literally, whether it's walking, hiking, dancing, enjoying the holidays, because that's coming. Live without pain, without hesitation with QC Kinetics. Healing is now within reach. Worked for me, can work for you. Schedule your free consultation. Now's a great time to use your HSA and FSA for treatments. Call 414-667-5559. That's 414-667-5559.
What do you give the person who's always at their desk? X-Chair. This holiday, give next level comfort with X-Chair ergonomic seating. Dynamic variable lumbar support and SiFloat Infinite Recline has your back. X-Chair elevates work, gaming, projects with everyday comfort. During the X-Chair holiday sale, you can save up to 50% site-wide. Don't wait. These deals won't last. Visit xchair.com and save up to 50% today. That's xchair.com.
Now there's a new way to take charge of your blood sugar. Introducing new Garlic Healthy Blood Sugar Formula from the makers of the nation's best-selling garlic supplement. New Garlic helps maintain healthy blood sugar levels with clinically supported levels of garlic, plus a custom blend of vitamins and minerals, and it's odor-free. Take charge of your blood sugar with new Garlic Healthy Blood Sugar Formula. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. You ever wonder how your house would look if it were a different color, or had a new roof, or maybe a splashy front door? Well, you can see for yourself just by going to TriCountyContractingWI.com. Add a photo of your house and design a new look. Then call them when you're ready. TriCountyContractingWI.com. It's worry-free roofing, siding, and windows. TriCountyContractingWI.com.
Gift cards from the amazing Mineshaft restaurant in Hartford make great holiday gifts, as everyone loves a delicious breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Buy a $100 gift card and get a $20 gift card free. It's easy. Order online at mineshaftrestaurant.com.
Text me Merry Christmas. Let me know you care.
Jeremy Janine, UrbanMilwaukee.com is where you can find this great reporting. And I always say, you want to know what's going on in Milwaukee and all the things we talk about in this segment, that's a great source, and you can sign up, and it's worth the price of admission, as I like to say. Kristin dancing in studio because of the great music played by producer Jazz. She's doing it holiday style, which I love. All right, Brewers, property, developments, where does that stand?
Well, you were on vacation a couple weeks ago, a month ago. Kristin and I talked.
That doesn't sound like him.
No, not at all.
Kristin and I talked about this plan that showed how to develop around 30 acres around American Family Field, what can conceptually happen there, a mix of uses, a market study on really what could happen. And there's a conclusion that it could support about $1 billion in development on that
$1 billion,
land.
you say?
$1 billion, 800 million. And what interest do the Brewers have in this? Well, they weren't like, yeah, we're checking it out. Their comment was that they're waiting for the final study, which was their way of just kind of burying it, it felt like. So Mayor Cavalier Johnson had pushed for that as part of the stadium funding package, that this at least needs to be studied. He called it a sea of parking. He wanted to see more economic activity there. So Bruce Murphy, Urban Milwaukee editor and longtime skeptic of stadium funding deals, important in this discussion, had the audacity to act, well, if this is important to the mayor, has he ever discussed it with Mark Antonazio? And the answer was no, they've never once talked about it. And the evidence is that the public might be interested in more economic activity around American Family Field, but the Brewers don't seem to be.
And why is that?
Well, they have this thing where they make money without doing a lot of work. And Bruce's theory is they just got a new subsidy, so they don't need to, like, the Bucks, part of their pitch for building the stadium downtown and getting the subsidy was the auxiliary development. That was all part of the sales pitch to get the public money. The Brewers never had to really do that.
Okay.
So, but there is this other piece of land that's about to become available. Depending on when in Milwaukee history you come into the discussion, P&H, Komatsu, Joy Global on National Avenue there, 44th and National, 44-acre site. They moved to the Harbor District now. The buildings are being demolished. So could the Brewers develop anything there. So Bruce Murphy went and asked the head of the village president for West Milwaukee. It's a different city than Milwaukee, so that has its own issues that Bruce analyzed. But had they ever discussed it with Mark Antonazio? And no, never discussed it. And also Komatsu isn't talking about what they want to do with the site, which doesn't. So that could be that there's this private discussion happening. But you think the Brewers would kind of wink and nod at that at some point because they might want to get a subsidy to redevelop this industrial site because it's going to be expensive.
All right, quick hitter before we're going to break because we're going to do a pay it forward after. What do you want to hit on?
Graham Kilmer has a story on the county building a new entrance to the Milwaukee County Zoo. If you're familiar with backups on Blue Mountain Road, they are annoying. If you're trying to get into the zoo, they're annoying. It's strange to me that you can be a zoo member and there's not a special line to expedite you getting in.
Ding, 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 ding.
But $15 million is being spent on this. The new rhino exhibit is about to open. That costs about $23 million. So we're spending slightly more on rhinos than we are on cars at the zoo. It just defies belief that it costs $15 million to allow people to drive into the zoo.
I think we talked about just change the model of how you
pay when you enter the zoo.
What are we doing here?
Which is part of what's happening, and there's a new traffic light being installed, and somehow it ends up $15 million. But it is happening. You can see drawings in urban Milwaukee.
Overcomplicated. All right, she's Kristin, I'm Steve. He is Jeremy Janine, UrbanMilwaukee.com. After the break, we love to do this in the lead up to the holiday season. Pay it forward. We'll hear what Jeremy has to say, and Kristin, and me after this.
Tune in to Wisconsin's Midday News with Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
The Democratic field to replace Governor Tony Evers in 2026 drops from 8 to 7. American Family Field beer vendor Ryan Sternad has dropped out of the race.
Bringing you the latest in news, sports, traffic, and weather.
From the WTMJ breaking news room, Milwaukee police officers have a new contract for the first time in 3 years.
Every weekday from noon until 3 p.m. Only on WTMJ.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Steve Scaffidi for Annex Wealth Management. As the holiday season brings reflection on the past year and planning for the next, it can be a good time to review your financial situation. Market shift, costs change, and your own priorities may evolve. This is where Annex Wealth Management comes in. They take time to understand you and your full financial picture. With this holistic approach, you can take advantage of a plan that can help you reach your goals for retirement, discover new investment strategies, have better tax awareness, that's a big one, and create estate plans, important as you look ahead. You might be building wealth early in your career, balancing family and financial commitments, or preparing for life in retirement. No matter the stage, Annex provides knowledge to help you evaluate your choices and move into the new year with crystal clear clarity. As a fee-only fiduciary, Annex is required to act in the best interest of its clients. They inform without selling or taking commissions so you can review information and decide what fits best for your situation. Start the new year with a fresh financial plan. Good advice. Visit AnnexWealth.com. Click on the now famous Get Started button. Know the difference with Annex Wealth Management, AnnexWealth.com.
The Previent Law Firm wanted to streamline their document printing. The firm's office manager, Chris Wilms.
And then I sat down with our rep, and he helped us find a better solution that would be cost-effective.
James Imaging Systems Managed Print Services Program. All your print technology bundled under one program that includes parts, supplies, and service, all for one low cost per print.
Right, a better solution to help us save money over the long term.
And there's flexibility should your business needs change.
Yes, so that again is where we get the value of our money to readjust it, to go and update our contracts.
Chris, sounds like you might be willing to recommend managed print services from James Imaging Systems to other businesses.
Oh, I definitely would tell them James Imaging.
James Imaging Systems, managed print services, AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, and digital transformation. Call 262-781-7700. 262-781-7700. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
No matter how many people are in your family, buying new jackets for the cold weather months can be expensive. But when you shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, prices on cold weather jackets will give you a sigh of relief because thrift store prices mean great deals. And right now we have a great selection. Find great deals on cold weather jackets for the family at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Beautiful and safe. Decks built to last by Outdoor Living Unlimited, Wisconsin's #1 TimberTech deck installation team. For amazing ideas, go to our Outdoor Living Unlimited Instagram page. For a free estimate, go to OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
I'll give a
Oh, Super Tramp. Can't go wrong with that.
I feel like this is a needed palate cleanser to end with Pay It Forward because I feel like I think we were very Statler and Waldorf today as far as almost all the stories that Jeremy brought in. We're like, that's dumb. Why are they doing that? So let's end on some positivity.
All right. So every day, and I'm trying to do this every day, and even when Kristin wasn't here, I was giving you some just Pay It Forward. So I always do one that requires no money, right? Because not everybody has the means, but you can do nice things. And then one that requires some dollars. So this one is sort of an interesting one, and people have done this to me in the past. You get or give $10 or $20 with the condition you have to do it do something nice for somebody else. So you pay it forward twice, really. So it makes you feel better because you're not keeping the money and just using it for whatever you're going to coffee or whatever lunch. You think of something unique or fun for another person. So that's a $10 to $20 one. And on the free side of things, as I quickly scroll up, this is the one that I'm a big fan of. I was a mentor for many years in the management part of the private sector. Offer to mentor somebody on a skill that you have that they don't have. Like it could be landscaping or woodworking or writing. Kristin's a fantastic writer, as are you. Maybe somebody needs help on something or punching something on. I know you can say, well, I'll just have ChatGPT do it. But sometimes really smart people want to, one, show off how smart they are, but two, help you to be better at what you aren't good at. So mentoring is always an easy one. All right, what do you guys got?
You're looking at me.
Yes.
So the one I like the most, I think you've said it already, it builds. Every single day you do it, it gets better. Pick up a piece of garbage when you're walking around.
Yes,
you will find
I said that last week.
It's tough to do it right now when the snow is on the ground, but the minute the snow melts, they're going to be there in an alarming amount. And the other thing I like to do, I did it on the way here, is if you're walking around downtown and you see someone staring dumbly at their phone, they're probably needing help with directions.
Yes, help them out.
I helped people find the 250 building. I pointed and I said, it's the building across the street with 250 written on it.
Yeah.
They laughed. We laughed. We had a good moment. I kept going.
Great. I was going to say, if you have any kids in your life, offer to babysit for free.
Yes, that's a great
nieces,
one.
nephews, neighbors, give their parents a night off with holiday parties coming up and stuff like that. Say, I'll watch them.
My wife, Kathy, and her sisters were all babysitters. And back then, they got like 50 cents for the whole night.
Yeah, it was very different than what it is now.
What does it cost now? I'm just curious. Ballpark it for me.
I would say it's somewhere between $15 to $25 an hour.
Holy
Would you agree?
Yeah, I must confess, we've actually never used a...
You've never had to use a babysitter?
We have very nice grandparents, both of sets of which are probably listening right now, and I'm eternally grateful for them.
That is very helpful.
Yeah.
I'll say, my in-laws definitely babysit, and my sister-in-law babysit. So, we have help, but they're not always available. So we also have babysitters.
Quick story. You're talking about giving people directions. So I come out of work last week when Kristin was off, and I'm upstairs, second floor, and there's a couple my age, well-dressed. They were from out of town, and they go, hey, can you tell me where Grand Avenue is? They were somehow stuck in the past where the old Grand Avenue, which was, what was that, the 80s?
When it opened? Sure, yeah.
Yeah. I go, that hasn't existed for like decades. I go, but here's the thing. You're in the area of town where there's all kinds of cool things to do. No one's ever asked me like where the old version of Grand Avenue was. Is it
like
still
the Grand Avenue Mall?
Yes.
Or like the street Grand...
The mall.
The mall. Oh.
You're
in it.
Is there still a sign up somewhere? Like on a garage or anything?
I'm sure if we went in the
There's
alley.
some in the stairwells from what I remember.
Yes.
Is there really? So that must have been maybe what triggered them? I thought they said they saw it somewhere.
And some of the parking signs say Warriors parking instead of Golden Eagles.
They were a lovely couple, and I did suggest they go eat at one of the great restaurants down here, so they were going to do that next. But it took me off guard because, like, man, that's been a while. You clearly aren't from here. Anyway, Jeremy and Jeannie will do it next Thursday. Kristin, you and I will tee it up with Bill and Joe tomorrow. News is next on 620 WTMJ.
There's a lot of noise coming out of Washington these days, but one thing retirees in Wisconsin can't afford to ignore is the new Big Beautiful Bill. Sounds harmless, right? But here's the truth. The changes buried in this bill could have a serious impact on your retirement. At Drake & Associates, we've dug into the details, and we want to make sure you know what's really at stake. The Big Beautiful Bill includes sweeping updates to